Just a few seconds ago, we entered Monaco. There's the world-famous harbour with all the expensive yachts. The Monte Carlo Casino and the Hotel de Paris, where Frank Sinatra used to lock swords with Errol Flynn. All around it lies France. But in just a few seconds, that's it. That was Monaco. It was literally as small as London's Hyde Park. But Monaco's always punched above its size. The last 50 years it's been the most glamorous, the most star-studded, and the richest place on earth. Why are these multi-millionaires prepared to slum it in a seafront shoebox? Well, a Monaco address goes hand in hand with qualifying for tax-free status, something the rich rather like because it means they get richer. Consequently, they're literally queuing up to get in. Of course, that means that property here hasn't exactly been rocked by the credit crunch. So just how much do you need to fork out for a quality pad if you're one of the big players?
These are what we're going to see.
King of real estate, Michel Dotta, is taking me to see a little something in the primest of prime locations. But stay watching, because its price tag might make your eyes water. So here we are, we're in one of Monaco's best apartments. How many rooms does this apartment have?
Okay, this flat has a big living room, dining room, 4 bedrooms.
So we go upstairs?
Yeah, if you want,
Okay.
yeah, with pleasure.
What makes this place unusual is that it has 2 levels and offers something that in Monaco is harder to find than a copy of Socialist Worker: outside space. I mean, what a view. This has to be the best view in Monaco, Michel.
Yes, this is the best view of Monaco because you are facing the palace and you are directed to the south, which means then you got sun from early morning until the end of the day with the mountain.
And when the Grand Prix is on, you can just stand and watch the cars go.
Yes, you can see the Formula One Grand Prix seated in your rocking chair and have a drink, a cup of champagne.
Let's cut to the quick here, Michel. How much, if this apartment went on the market tomorrow, how much would it be worth?
It would be roughly £60 million
For a 4-bedroom duplex?
for a 4-bedroom duplex.
How much of that 60 million for this property is the view, would you say?
I would say more than 55%.
So that view is worth about 30 million pounds.
Yes, that's right. Good.
That's an expensive view.
Is it expensive view? Is what the people they like to have here.
Luckily, it's rarely cloudy, and with average prices of £40,000 per square metre, it's the most expensive place to live in the world. Clearly, there's no financial meltdown here. Smack bang in the centre of Monaco is the most famous area, Monte Carlo, home since the early 1900s, the legendary Monte Carlo Casino and the Hotel de Paris, 5-star of course. It's a place to see and be seen, so naturally it's here that I headed to have lunch with expat millionaire Mike Pegram.
And here we come, if you're going to lunch at the Hotel de Paris.
8 years ago, Mike sold his chemical business in England for £44 million. He then upped sticks to Monaco, thus saving himself capital gains tax of around 13 million quid. And that's what you call a shrewd move. It is impossibly glamorous here. There's been Rolls Royces, Ferraris, Aston Martins, Lamborghinis.
It just takes a little getting used to. I think you'd get into the swing. I feel you'd be quite natural down here.
I think I'd love it here. If you fancy Mike's lifestyle, then make a fortune, become resident in Monaco, spend less than 90 days a year in the UK, and bingo, your tax bill is zero. It's what the 2,000 Brits here might call don't pay as you earn. So Monaco's a tax haven with more millionaires per square metre than anywhere else in the world. And in the planet's most expensive property market, a room with a view will set you back an arm, a leg, and most of your torso. How did this pocket-sized principality get to be such a big player? And when no one bats an eyelid at 10 million, just how much cash do you need to stand out in the crowd? The crucial thing about yachts is that size really does matter. That's about a 55-metre yacht, pretty big, pretty imposing. That's a bit bigger, bag girl, 60-odd metres I would say. But in all honesty, That's not a yacht. That is a yacht. At 105 metres, Lady Mora dominates the harbour. And when she was built for a Saudi businessman in 1990, she was the biggest yacht in the world. Today, she's worth £250 million. It's what you might call a floating asset. Does size really matter?
It only matters up to the point that you might want to have something a bit bigger than your next door neighbour. And of course, the annoying thing is if your next door neighbour builds something bigger, then you've got to build another one.
And does that go on?
It certainly does. I mean, the average...
Nick Edmiston, known locally as Mr. Yacht, is the leading boat broker in town. He's your man if you're after something nautical but nice.
This harbour is astonishing. Highlight some of the more expensive, high-end propositions that we've got
Well,
here.
the big boat coming into the harbour right now, and the new cost of a boat like that today is between, say, 40 and 45 million euros.
Really?
I always say to people, never spend more than 10% of your net worth on buying a yacht.
So you should be worth a lot of money to buy one of those. 400 million.
Yeah, we do, you know, it's, yeah, say £500 million is an easy round figure.
So if I've got £500 million to spend, you're the man.
Absolutely. Or if you've got more to spend.
And as the credit crunch bites around the world, is there much sign of it in Monaco harbour?
I think the honest answer is no, at the moment there's not. I mean, I think it would be foolish for me to say that there will never be any sign of it. But, you know, even if you look back into the 1930s, in the height of the recession there, rich people were spending a lot of money. And the fact is, the rich like spending money when other people are not spending it.
To be in the game where I come in and blow everybody away in this harbour, what do I need to bring to you?
Let's start you off, maybe a very nice second-hand yacht, budget of, let's say...
No, hang on.
I
want
think
brand spanking new.
I thought you would.
And I
I
don't want to
can
be
see
the
it.
second or third biggest.
No.
I want to be the big boy.
Right.
I want to be the whale of this
Well,
harbour.
if you want to be the whale, then I think you should be looking at a budget of well in excess of 100 million today. I think we could make you respectable for about 50 million.
I've never had any desire to be respectable, Nick. Let's just get the wallet out and talk some big yachts. Come on, out we go. This is just a typical jeweller's watch shop in Monaco. And to give you some idea of the extraordinary prices you get here, look at that watch at the top there. Nice sort of jewel-encrusted watch with a black strap. When I first saw that, I thought, oh, it looks pretty good. Maybe 1,000 euros, 2,000 maybe. If it was really expensive, 5,000 euros. Let me tell you what that watch actually costs. 1 million euros.
The flash watches here are 10 a penny, well, 10 a million, as are Ferraris and Lamborghinis. So what do I really need to get noticed in Monaco?
So Bruno, look, I want to buy a new car and I need one that fits my personal brand. What would you suggest?
Hello, I have one car for you. It's an exceptional car. It's a Bugatti Veyron.
Exceptional is almost an understatement. The Bugatti Veyron has a top speed of 253 miles per hour and is the most expensive car in the world. But get this, there are 6 of them currently registered in the square mile of Monaco.
I suppose, look, the real question, Bruno, is how much is this going to cost me?
It's 1,100,000 euro without tax.
What? 1,100,000 euro without tax.
Exactly.
At the same price as the watch, the car suddenly looks a bit of a bargain.
And you can't do me a discount?
I know, no, sorry for this car. It's exceptional to have one car available in the market.
Well, Bruno,
Yes.
you got a deal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, I've bought the best car, the best boat, the best watch and the best pad. I've spent £162 million in the process. But it's all been worth it, because now I'm the daddy. Or am I? One man who can put things into perspective is James Kahn of Dragon's Den. He's been coming here on business for over 10 years and recently invested in Avalus, a Monaco company that specialises in providing luxury travel for the mega wealthy.
How competitive is it down here? Because you meet a very rich guy and he's got $1 billion in the bank, and then Philip Green walks around the corner, he's got $4 billion. So I mean, the guy with $1 billion suddenly feels rather cheap and poor.
I think everything beyond 100 million, Piers, is actually irrelevant. If you've got 100 million, there is only so much you can do. I mean, how many mobile phones can you carry?
I mean, you say that, but take Roman Abramovich. That's his boat there.
Okay.
And it's parked in Ez, round the corner from Monaco, because it's simply too big to get into the harbour. Now, he's got 3 like that, and he's building an even bigger one, the world's biggest yacht. And you can't help thinking that the only reason he's doing this is to be top dog.
Sure. That concept of competition exists amongst probably the world's 50 richest people.
Yeah.
And of course, at that level, it's about the biggest private plane, the biggest yacht, the biggest mansion. But I think for us mere mortals...
For the mere 100 million bracket.
That's right.
It's a different game.
And remember, Piers, in Monaco, there's probably 2,000 millionaires. I mean, 2,000 millionaires is a reasonable number.
And how many billionaires?
I would say probably now 50.
50 billionaires?
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
2,000 millionaires in a population of 35,000.
Which is obscene.
Monaco today does seem like utopian for those who can afford it, that is. But incredibly, back in the mid-19th century, the country was on its knees, one of the poorest places in Europe, a lot ropier than utopia. Its saviour was the building of the Monte Carlo casino in 1863. Within just a few years, it was generating so much money that Monaco was able to abolish income tax. And there's further protection for the monegasques, as those born and bred here are known. It's illegal for them to gamble in their own casino. 2 perfect examples of how the house always wins. Inside, there are 6 exquisite gaming rooms. If you're a high roller and want to play in secret, there are plenty of private gambling dens behind mirror panels.
John, how are you?
I'm here to meet professional gambler John Duthie.
Now, John, you have actually won £1 million in one session, haven't you?
Yeah.
A stupid question, but what does it feel like to win $1 million?
Funny enough, when I won it, it didn't really strike me. And then suddenly, when it cleared my account, I just suddenly realised, you know, it's a very large sum of money. You know, you can take a lot of pressure off.
But in the end, like all casinos, they win, right?
Of course. I mean, that's the risk you take when you come into a casino.
Obviously, you're a big gambler. You've been in Vegas, all the big hot spots. What does the Monte Carlo casino mean to all gamblers worldwide? Because it must still retain a slight magic to it.
Well, it does, because this is really where it all started. You know, everything about Monaco is just luxury. You know, you just feel you're sitting in luxury. You know, everything, the chips, the personnel, the way you're treated, you know, outside. There's something very, very special about it. You know, it really is the mecca for gamblers.
I love these chips. They're all very colourful and glamorous, and sort of they look like nice little toys. And then, of course, you look at something like this, and that says 200,000 euros.
Yeah.
So if I was to put that there, that is 200,000 euros.
Yeah.
OK, I've emptied all my piggy banks. It's time to try and find out what it's like to win millions.
In front of me, I actually have chips to the value of €1 million. And I'm going to put the whole lot on red.
It's double or nothing. 2 million in the bank.
Get in there.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Philippe. I'd like my chips, please.
So what have I learned about Monaco? Well, it's very clean. There's no litter or graffiti. The sun always shines. There's little crime to speak of, and it's very private. But let's face it, the main reason that most people live here is to avoid paying tax. And that kind of sticks in my gullet a bit, to be honest. I mean, after all, I pay tax, and so do most of you. But before I went back to the world of pollution, paparazzi, freezing rain and PAYE, this question still bugged me. So I turned once again to Dragon James Khan for the answer.
There'll be lots of people watching this programme who will be thinking, these bastards, why should they not pay any tax, like me?
Well, let's be honest, Piers. The choice that they took is a choice that's available to everybody.
Yeah, but James, come off it. Look, it is not openly available to 95% of the British population. to come out and live in Monaco. Apart from anything else, a croissant would break the bank.
There has to be a prize for being successful, Piers. You know, what's the point in working so hard all of your life if there isn't a prize at the end? And maybe Monaco is the prize.
It is a pretty good prize, and for that reason, I'm in.